The universe is vast, it is ancient, and it is honestly overwhelmingly quiet. For all of human history, we have looked up at the stars and wondered, are we alone? Is there anyone else out there looking back at us? This question is perhaps the most profound one we can ask. It drives us to build incredible machines, giant ears pointed toward the heavens. We listen. We wait. We strain to hear a whisper in the cosmic static, a single note in the grand, silent symphony of space. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, is a testament to our enduring hope and our insatiable curiosity. It is a search built on patience, often measured not in days or weeks, but in lifetimes of listening. In the quiet fields of Delaware, Ohio, there stood a remarkable machine. It didn't look like a typical satellite dish. It was a giant, sprawling structure, a marvel of engineering from a bygone era. It was officially known as the Ohio State University Radio Observatory. The date was August 15, 1977. The Big Ear telescope was doing what it always did, listening silently as the Earth turned. Computer tape reels wound data in a dark lab. Wide, perforated paper-printed rows of characters a few days later. The task fell to Jerry Amon. He sat with a red pen, scanning endless columns. Each character marked signal intensity over a 12-second interval. Low numbers, like 1, 2, were just background noise. As his eyes moved down the page, something caught his attention. A sequence of characters seemed to leap off the paper. Amidst a sea of 1s and 2s, a sudden dramatic spike appeared. The sequence read, 6 EQUJ5. It was not random noise. A signal started low, rose to an incredible peak, then faded away, perfectly mirroring the telescope's beam as a fixed source drifted through it. The event lasted exactly 72 seconds. The precise dwell time Big Ear had on any point in the sky. Amon's heart must have been pounding. This was exactly what they had been looking for. Amon grabbed his red pen, circled the sequence, and wrote a single word in the margin. Wow! That three-letter note became the signal's name and captured that shock. The WOW signal was a near-perfect candidate for an extraterrestrial beacon. Right frequency, right duration, nearly inexplicable strength. The humble sheet of paper set in motion a mystery that still captivates us today. The question was immediate and honestly electrifying. Was this it? Was this the moment humanity had been waiting for, dreaming of, fearing for millennia? Could the 6 EQUJ5 sequence be the opening line in a conversation between worlds? The implications were staggering, sending ripples of excitement and trepidation through the small community of astronomers who learned of the discovery. For a brief, thrilling period, it really seemed that we had finally received a call. We had picked up the cosmic telephone and heard a clear, unambiguous ring from a distant, unknown caller. The discovery of the WOW signal triggered an immediate and honestly pretty frantic search. If this was a genuine beacon from an alien civilization, it stood to reason that it might be a repeating signal. Maybe it was like a lighthouse, sweeping its beam across the galaxy. The astronomers at the Big Ear pointed the telescope back to that exact patch of sky. They listened, and, well, they heard nothing. Only the familiar random static of empty space. The cosmic shout had been replaced by an unnerving silence. The failure to find the signal again forced scientists to get creative. They started to chase cosmic ghosts, trying to imagine scenarios that could explain a one-time-only event. One popular idea is the lighthouse hypothesis. Maybe the signal is a beacon, but it's rotating. One theory proposed in 2017 suggested that the signal could have been caused by a comet. The idea was that two comets were passing through that region of the sky in 1977. Comets are surrounded by huge clouds of hydrogen gas. It was hypothesized that the Big Ear's radio beam might have stimulated this hydrogen cloud, causing it to emit a strong temporary signal at the hydrogen line frequency. However, it also faced significant criticism from other scientists, including Jerry Amon himself. Critics pointed out that a comet's hydrogen cloud is vast and diffuse. It shouldn't produce such a sharp, focused signal that rises and falls over just 72 seconds. Furthermore, the Big Ear had two feed horns, two receivers that scanned the sky side by side. The WOW signal was only seen in one, which is odd. Another possibility is a rare and specific type of gravitational lensing. This is a phenomenon where the gravity of a massive object, like a star or a galaxy, bends and focuses light or radio waves from a more distant source. It's possible that a very faint continuous radio signal from far away was momentarily magnified by a wandering object, creating a sudden intense burst from our perspective. The specific alignment of the source, the lens, and Earth would have been a fleeting 1 in a trillion cosmic coincidence. Ultimately, we are left with a tantalizing puzzle. Every natural explanation proposed so far has its own set of problems and doesn't quite fit all the data. The signal was too narrow, too powerful, and its profile was too perfect. At the same time, the idea of a one-time only alien broadcast also seems strange. Today, nearly 50 years after that red pen circled those 6 characters on a sheet of paper, the WOW signal remains the most compelling candidate for an extraterrestrial message ever recorded. It endures not just as a scientific anomaly, but as a cultural touchstone, a symbol of our deepest hopes and questions about our place in the cosmos. The search continues. The Big Ear telescope was dismantled in 1998, its former site now part of a golf course. But its legacy lives on. New generations of astronomers and more powerful telescopes have taken up the vigil. So, what was it? Was it a message from a distant intelligence? A brief, "We are here," shouted across the void? Was it the final broadcast of a dying civilization? Or was it simply a rare, natural alignment of cosmic forces? A fluke of physics that we may never witness again? We still don't know. And perhaps that is the most profound part of the story. The mystery endures. It forces us to remain humble, to admit the limits of our knowledge, and to keep looking, keep listening, and keep wondering about what might be out there. The universe has not spoken to us again with such clarity, but hope remains. Maybe someday a new signal will arrive, a single tantalizing word from the cosmos, circled in red ink, forever asking us the question, are we alone? We are still waiting for the answer.